Sometimes you leave it alone. You don't touch anything. You don't change anything. But every now and then you come back and look at the canvas and you reassess, like, am I happy with this? But you keep trusting the process, but leaving space for that whimsy and wonder, leaving space for things to evolve. But I think what's really, really cool about that, what's cool about having that perfect balance between the trust and the process, when you're trusting the process, the having that perfect balance of like creating that abstraction or creating that painting where you don't really know what happens at the end. That would happen with me a lot when I started making abstract art. Like, I never knew what I was making at the end. I just knew what, was central to the piece, and I knew what process I wanted to explore. And I allowed those decisions to happen naturally. I allowed myself to respond to whatever had already happened. I allowed myself to respond to whatever I was looking at, and I let the piece evolve. But I think what's so cool about this approach, right, with my art, with myself, with my career, is that one day, because you don't know what you're like expecting necessarily, because not everything is prescribed, right? Because you're not obsessively like everything has to go a certain way, right? One day you apply one last brushstroke, and then you take a few steps back and you look at the piece and you're like, it's done. Like, it's done. So for so long, you didn't know what you were waiting for necessarily.